G'day, this is Simon and James at South OC Cars and Coffee. We have got the best weather we've had in a long while. The sun is shining, the cars are rolling, and there's some cool stuff. What are you seeing, James?
So I just saw a Gen 2 Ford GT pull up the brand new one, and then also a Bugatti Chiron. I think it's a Vitesse. We have a bunch of other really cool, like kind of interesting supercars, some pretty cool spec stuff. Yost just pulled in with this really nice 993. It's a good day. What have you seen?
Yeah, and we've got some classic old Shelby Mustangs as well. So much stuff. Don't forget, if you're coming to South OC Cars and Coffee, please remember our rules: no speeding, no revving, no burnouts. That includes on the streets of San Clemente and getting on and off the freeway. All right, mate, let's go for a walk and check some stuff out.
Let's do it. So this was unexpected. We had a Bugatti Divo show up, probably one of the rarest cars we've ever had at this show. I think it's somewhere between $8 to $10 million. Shares that same 8-liter quad turbo W16 with the Chiron. This car is absolutely stunning. You can see all of the gray and the red features, these massive functional louvers on the side, so much exposed carbon, and the beautiful red paint covering this full car. It's a full carbon body, beautiful black and red interior. What a gorgeous car. Here we have a GT4 RS. I think this is probably the third or fourth one that we've had at the event, but the first one that I've seen in black. It suits this car so well, especially with all the exposed carbon all over the place. See the massive wing mounted to that deck lid. What an awesome car. So this is interesting. It looks like a normal R35, but as you can see, it is actually right-hand drive. Has this beautiful jade paint job on it, gold wheels, tons of really nice black and carbon accents. Just an awesome car all around. Definitely deserve to be in this front row.
Very tough sounding Malibu pulling in. Look at that child sitting in the back of the child seat. This car sounds tough, looks great. Love this era of vehicle. Super tough. Nice looking interior. Notice the door handles are all Frenched in. Boost wheels on it. A ton of work's been done to this thing. Absolutely magnificent. Great looking Morgan three-wheeler here. You know, the interesting thing about Morgan is they've been around for a long time, British car builders, and their automotive manufacturing techniques have not really changed in decades. They made a version of this car many years ago. This is obviously one of the newer versions, replica of that car. But even when you look at their sports cars, they still use wood frames in their sports cars because they're trying to retain that original old British coach builder style of building. So interesting thing about this, notice where the motor is sitting right out the front over the front wheels. Obviously just interesting in its design, drives through to a single wheel in the back. Anybody who used to watch the British version of Top Gear may recall that Richard Hammond took one of these on a track day drive when Clarkson, I think, was in a KTM and Captain Slow was in a Lotus 6, and Hammond rolls up in one of these things and he ends up winning a competition, believe it or not, doing a donut in this particular car, something I never thought you'd be able to do, at least without tipping it on its side. But you know, the cool thing about this is it's lightweight, it's actually got a decent amount of power. It's not going to win any events, but whoever's driving it's going to have a fun time and look pretty cool at the same time.
Here we have a 720S in a really interesting finish. I can't tell if this is a wrap or paint. Super glossy, but it does have a full 1016 kit on it, and then it sounds like it may have upgraded turbos, something like that. Definitely makes some really good horsepower.
Heard something noisy coming in, thought, man, what is making all that noise? Then the word came through, it was a trophy truck. They were doing their best to bring it in as quietly as they could. Have a look at this thing. We've had a few trophy trucks here before. I always find it fascinating just looking at how these things are built. There's nothing left of the original vehicle, obviously. When you have a look inside, the framework, you know, the console, everything around it, oil coolers here, shocks, so much stuff going on. Absolutely incredible the way these things are built. Great to have it here. Always great seeing these things. Just amazing looking thing.
I feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the world blind? Please, Lord, give me a sign, a sign.
Now, I don't know about you, but if I was about to go into an apocalypse, I would want an apocalyptic type vehicle, and this thing looks like it's been built for exactly that, kind of their Hellfire. This is a highly modified Jeep. Obviously 6-wheel drive, serious interior in there. Have a look how bright that green is in there. And then into the front, whole thing's sprayed with this rhino treatment with that rough finish on it. It's a few bucks in this thing for sale at the moment too.
Get it right now! I'm losing it, the noose it fits, I'm losing shit, a stupid myth. You choose to live or choose to dip, you choose to fight or lose your grip and lose a gift. Oh!
I feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the world blind?
We talked about that Morgan's three-wheeler earlier. Slingshots carry on the same tradition of that fun vehicle that gives you the experience of riding in the open air like a motorcycle does, but I guess the security of having extra bits around you and 3 wheels on the ground. We like to welcome the guys from Slingshot as our sponsors, South OC Cars and Coffee, here at the show, here each week. If you want to learn more, come and speak to the guys here, but super cool. While we're talking about cool people, Carbon-tastic as well. These guys make the most incredible carbon products, including these steering wheels. They're building one at the moment for my Camaro, but have a look at this inside this BMW. There's beautiful carbon at the top and then leather. Still retains the functionality of the regular steering wheel, but beautiful carbon finish. And then also on this sponsors road, Polestar, of course, here with the Polestar 2. If you want to learn more about Polestar, come and talk to them at the show. They can arrange a test drive for you, and of course we'll have the Polestar 3 out very soon, and then the 4, and then finally the 5 will come out after that. Great lineup of vehicles over the next 12 months or so. We have a beautiful lineup of cars along here. First of all, have a look at this big beautiful Fairlane. This was the original hardtop convertible. Look at the way that this folds up and then goes down into effectively what is the trunk. People often ask, why is there a square box in the back? Well, the answer to that is where you can safely store items when you're going to fold the roof back, because the roof clears this area. If you go and put things around the outside when you know you're going to put the roof down, I think they're going to get crunched and crushed and all that sort of stuff. Maybe if you've got some oranges, you want to make some orange juice, that might not be a bad idea. But that was the cleverly thought out way of making the roof retract, but still give you some storage space into the back. Now, mind you, if you want to access it when the roof's down, then yes, you have to put the roof up to a certain degree so you can get into it. But I personally love cars of this era, the beautiful interior that matches the outside, this two-tone paint, then under the hood, that wonderful big V8 sitting under there. Now, next to it, a couple of other special cars. We've got some classic Shelbys. This GT350 Mustang, first of all. Isn't this wonderful? These very Shelby looking wheels, the side scoops, beautiful interior. Notice it's an automatic, which is interesting. And then as we come around the side, another GT350, just absolutely beautiful. I'm not good with my Mustangs. I think this is 65, it could be a 66, and I apologise for anyone that knows better than I do, but just an amazing looking car. Some interesting things about it. If you look under here, notice the vents under here have been blocked off by a piece of acrylic. I can only guess that was probably to improve wind resistance. I'm not overly sure, but just looking at this car, knowing how special this would be, can you imagine what the original owners would have felt the day they took delivery of this car? Just absolutely beautiful on any angle. If you know what that acrylic's for and if that was actually an option at the time, I'd love to know. Put something in the comments below, please.
Always have your back. We like all the same tracks. Listen all night in this.
Great looking 56 F100 here. I'm pretty sure it's 56, 55 at a straight windshield, not wrap around. So 99.9% sure. Some of the things I like about it, notice they've done this front tilt hood, which is kind of cool. Running a original Ford V8. They haven't done what a lot of people do and try and run a Coyote motor in it. But I think looking at it, this truck's been done for a few years. It's still in beautiful condition, but the giveaway, of course, are the wheels, this style of wheel, and also this style of steering wheel as well. Now, not at all that there's anything wrong with that. It was just a different look of this particular era a few years ago, but hey, isn't it clean? Great looking truck. Love the license plate down there. Used truck. Very cool. Beautiful 67 Camaro here. Love this car, been here before. Wonderful colour. I love the back of 67s. Notice there's something interesting. The 67s have got this side window, but the thing I like about them is they don't have the side markers. You come to a 68, they lose the side windows, but now they get clutter in the side markers in the side. In my world, the perfect Camaro, first gen Camaro, would be a 67, but with 68 doors on it, so you lose the corner windows, but you still don't have these side markers. This car is super clean, obviously resto modded. Look at the big Willwood brakes in there. Absolutely love it. One of my favourite shapes of cars anywhere.
Feeling I could tear you apart, or I could go heal them. Don't believe in fate, don't believe in ceilings. I just need a taste and my mind starts peeling. I don't pace myself, I grind on kneeling. Got lust for change.
You think about the hot rod scene, it was guys trying to make cars go faster than what they were able to get from the factory. And it all kind of started with these original 32 Fords, as you can see in front of me here. And they would either do a roof chop in later years, or in this case, obviously, they've left the roof high, or they do what's called channeling, so drop it down on the chassis as well. The one notable thing about this car that I really, really love is the fact that it's still running a flathead V8. There's something for me about looking under the hood, see all the bolt holes, the plugs and everything. This is a really, really cool motor. Also got the twin carbs on the top of it as well. This was true hot rodding back in the original days when guys were trying to find out ways of making these cars go faster. Now, the flathead was never capable of building any massive power because of the principle of the design. But there's something aesthetically for me about this that is super cool and makes hot rods with flatheads just look so complete and the way they're meant to look, at least in my mind.
For a demon.
Have a look at this spectacular looking C1 Corvette. Now, this is a 1955. I only know because I'm looking at the license plate. But this era of Corvette for me is very, very special. Now, the original Corvette that came out had an inline six, and it didn't have enough power to compete with the European cars that they were targeting. I mean, let's face it, when the first Corvettes came out, Chevrolet was trying to target Ferrari and the like, and Jaguar with what they were doing. So, interesting thing, this particular one has a fuel injection system. You notice this, the whole fuel injection on the top. This would have been a very, very special car at the time, and it would have taken some level of expertise to be able to tune it as well. But just the interior on this thing and the way the tail lights are all designed into this is a very, very special, very beautiful car. Just lovely to see how Corvettes first started and then how they've evolved. I mean, next to it we have a C7. Fortunately, we don't have a C8. And then down here we've, going back another generation as well. It's just great to see, isn't it? These cars are still being evolved as time has progressed and as design cues have progressed to, whereas now they're a mid-engine supercar to compete against those same people they were trying to compete with back in here in the 1950s. Super clean C10 here, LS under the hood. Very, very neat engine bay, the way it's all been cleaned up. All the way the wheel arch has been done under the front there. Clean interior, clean bed, really, really nice, massive rubber on it. This thing looks absolutely beautiful.
My face while he's looking back, mirror breaks after math. When I hate, I attack.
Gotta stop and look at this. How tough is this? Running a blowout through the hood. Burt Reynolds will be smiling from his grave at that.
Yes, I'm immortal. When I feel like this, I'm immortal. When I feel like this.
Okay, gotta point this out. Two very cool looking Mercedes. Check them both out. Bag, look at them down low. The interior of this thing is magnificent. Really, really nice. Look at the way they've done the cloth in there, the wood in the back of the cup holder. Dude, this is one clean car, man. I just absolutely love it. Oh, look at that being lifted up. Super cool, absolutely love it. Next to it, same kind of deal. Very, very cool. Just love it on every angle. Wow, this is good. I love seeing guys modifying these cars that are, well, you know, a few years ago no one would have looked at them twice, and now the colour's great, the interiors are great. They've done a magnificent job.
I never answer to no, man, I still go. Go, 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 go. Hustle hard, hustle every.
I was standing at the front of the show talking to a friend of mine, Gary, who's got a 458 Italia Ferrari. Saw this thing rolling through, could tell by the sound. I looked at Gary and I said, you know that thing would be faster than your Ferrari. Look at under the hood, exactly right. Look at this LS turbo. This thing is super cool. Good fuel system on it over there. I love seeing stuff like that. Got a cage in it, got some big gauges up there, shift light. Super cool, huh?
The negativity, but I just slide right by that energy. Even when you feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow.
So I was walking past this Mustang and just spoke to the owner who was down cleaning it. The first thing I noticed, the twin pipes down here. And I've never noticed that before, never seen that before. And I said, what's the story with that? And you said this it's a 1967, but it's a 390 GT, which is a rare car, as you said.
Yep.
Super cool, because everybody in this area kind of thinks the Shelby's in this area, but there were factory cars like there were from everybody that you could spec in a pretty cool way that was probably more affordable to the owner, and it wasn't a fastback, which makes it even rarer.
This is a GTA. It's a rare car, yeah.
Yeah, very cool. Thank you so much for bringing it out. Just the little things we learn every time we talk to people, huh? I was just talking to the guy from the Mustang and he said, oh, he got the Bugatti. We actually had two. Here's the other one that was over in the other lot. I didn't even see that one, so how cool is that? Followed out by this beautiful, beautiful Ford GT as well.
Slow yourself down, you can do some more. Push past all the pain and you'll find a door. Open it up and finally explore everything that you thought you could never do before. And even when you feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man, I still go. Go, 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 go.
How cool is this thing? Cyclone spoiler, got a 429 in it, it says. Love the colour on it, looks great. And once again, this is a car you don't see very often. Look at the front, that nose, that grille is just so different from everything else around at that time. Absolutely love it, very cool car. Have a look at this, this thing just rolled in. That to me, look what's down in there, that's kind of cool. Running a V8. That is true hot rodding.
That is it for a very busy weekend here at South OC Cars and Coffee. Thank you guys all so much for coming out. Please remember, if you are coming to the event, respect our rules. No revving, no speeding, and no burnouts. It does include getting on and off the freeway, and also driving through the city of San Clemente. I wanted to say a huge thank you to all the sponsors. We have the Bracketeer, Wear Marketing, McGuire's, Polestar, PDM Brands, Next Level Auto Protection, Vetstein Law, Happy Jewelers, Carbontastic, Mazda USA, and then Polaris Slingshot as well. And then I want to say a huge thank you to all the volunteers for coming out each and every week and helping us put on this event. We could not do it without them. If you want to become a volunteer, hit us up on Instagram at South OC Cars and Coffee Merch, so we handle all of our volunteer rostering. And then while you're over there, check out the brand new designs we've got, new t-shirts, a bunch more stuff coming very, very soon, new hats, anything that you guys could want. If you are volunteering, you get to bring your car in before 8:30, and then Ruby's Diner does also provide a free coffee and donut for everyone helping us out.
Yeah, big thank you to Ruby's for doing that. We really appreciate that. And also Outlets at San Clemente for allowing us to be here. Remember, if you need to do any shopping, please come to the outlets, tell them South OC Cars and Coffee sent you. Big thank you to the City of San Clemente for their support. That is it. Don't forget to like, follow, and subscribe. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you back here next week for another South OC Cars and Coffee.
Thank you guys.